Seoul, South Korea. It was the big surprise that was not to be. Donald Trump, America's showman president, hatched a secret plan to visit the Korean Peninsula's demilitarized zone before he ever left Washington last week on a five-nation tour of Asia, the White House said. Trump teased a showstopper during a toast at a state dinner being held in his honor in Seoul on Tuesday night, promising "We're going to have an exciting day tomorrow for many reasons that people will find out." With reporters sworn to secrecy and a beefed-up security retinue in tow, his helicopter took off in the dim early morning light Wednesday bound for the heavily fortified border. Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders had announced the destination by scrawling the letters DMZ on a notepad, saying that was how she was told to communicate the sensitive information. But plans for the grand reveal were botched by Mother Nature, and Sanders described Trump as disappointed and pretty frustrated. Yongbyon Jeep. Just after daybreak, Trump's motorcade had departed unannounced for Yongsan Garrison, a U.S. Army base in Seoul, where a fleet of military helicopters was standing by for the roughly 35-mile flight to the DMZ. Trump had been scheduled to arrive at Observation Post Willett, the closest post to the 1953 Armistice Line, where he would follow his three direct predecessors in peering into North Korea. But visibility below 1 mile and misting conditions determined otherwise. As they neared the DMZ landing site, the pilots were unable to see the other helicopters in the air convoy, Sanders said. Military pilots, in conjunction with the U.S. Secret Service, decided it was unsafe to continue, and the helicopters reversed course and returned to Yongsan. Undeterred, Trump waited nearly an hour in his armored limousine near the helicopters in hopes of a clearing in the weather, but none was forthcoming. White House staff, including Sanders and Chief of Staff John Kelly, passed the time making frequent glances at the overcast sky. Just before 9 a.m., the final call was made. The stop was off. Trump's 11 a.m. address to the South Korean National Assembly could not be delayed to accommodate a later trip. Trump had also been scheduled to visit with families of diplomats at the U.S. Embassy in Seoul, but First Lady Melania Trump filled that engagement. In advance of the 12-day trip, White House officials had publicly dismissed the idea of a visit to the DMZ as a little bit of a cliché.